Good afternoon, Belmont family, and welcome to my live stream for today. I feel a little bit like I need a tardy pass. We typically do this around noon, and here it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but it has been another day full of many things here on campus. So let me get right to some of the comments for today. But first of all, we are excited to get this school year started. We realize that it's unique and it's challenging, but as we are every school year, we want to get back to providing education to your children. And I just want you to know that every staff member is working many hours, some long hours, to get us ready to meet the needs of students. 12 days from now, we will be on campus, or for some of you, online, getting this school year started. And speaking of getting school year started, I am really excited today to be able to say online registration is open. I'm not even going to reiterate all the challenges we've had with that, but just to say thank you, Jeannie Smith, for your hours of work. And you can go on and you can get your students registered. If you are a family with a student who is new to our school, and most of you have already talked with administrators and you've already seen guidance counselors. When you go on, there is a separate link for new students. You'll still need to do that. And for you, families with new children, we would really appreciate it if you would do that here before the week's out, because there are certainly extra things we need to do to help your families get acquainted and ready to go for school. The rest of you, let's just try to take care of that this weekend. We know this has been long delayed, and we know school's close. But fortunately, it can still be done online, which is really quick. If we'd have had to go back to pencil and paper, that's a pretty lengthy process, writing name and address on all those sheets of paper, and we have found that people appreciate not doing that the last couple of years. So lots of updates to share with you, and I'll hit each of them as quickly as I can without making this too long today. I do want everyone to know I met with Dr. Ainsworth again this morning and just talked through some updates. We are keeping him in the loop on all the things we're doing, and he approves them. There are times he says, you know, I really would prefer that you also do this, and talk to him about our back to school nights and some other things that we'll be talking about in a little bit. But it's great conversation and it's great team effort. I would also add that superintendents from South Adams and Adams Central are also part of that meeting, and we've been meeting collectively for many months trying to figure out how we do this so we are somewhat similar, even though we're going to have just a few differences. Let me start with we've asked that as many people as possible pay for lunch online, and the fee for that has been waived. So for at least the first couple months, you will not have to pay a fee. So please try to work it out where you can pay that online for lunches, or at least send a check as opposed to regular cash. In addition, those of you I mentioned before that were going to be online students, you do have an opportunity to get lunch, and at one point we thought you were going to have to come every day to get that lunch. We can provide the bagged lunches 5 at a time to be picked up, and we'll get some more information out to those families about that. It's probably going to be about 1:15 in the afternoon on Mondays, and you can get for the whole week just like you did this summer. Back to school nights and tours of the buildings. You have asked, is there any way to do that? Well, we've worked hard. The administrators have worked hard. We've talked to Dr. Ainsworth, and yes, we can. That being said, I'm asking all of you to follow instructions carefully. You're going to see information about when the nights are and the times, and I'm not going to go through all that today, but I just want to encourage you to follow the instructions given by the building personnel. You're going to have to wear masks. Don't bring the whole family along. Have your child and you, and if you have a couple kids, they can come at the same time. That's fine. but it's really not a back to school night. It's a bring your stuff, take it to the room, put it on the desk, say hi, and leave. Sounds a little cold, but we want you to be able to bring all those things so your child doesn't have to bring it on the first day of school. So we've worked that out because you people said you'd like to do that, and we're happy to accommodate that. If you are new, or a few of you had asked about an actual tour, just reach out to the building that your child will be in, and we've also worked out a system where we can give some tours for some of those students that have no familiarity with the building. So we've got that taken care of. A couple of other items that are maybe not something you would think of as far as keeping things clean in a safe environment. We have also put in a different kind of filter in our ventilation system to help with those air purifying, and so we're also doing that. One of the things that's been talked about for a long time is if you do develop a temperature, you do have a fever, when can you then come back to school? And for most of the summer, the health officials said 72 hours fever-free without medication. Well, that has changed this week. Actually, I think it might have been the end of last week. It is now back to what we're normally used to. They're saying everything is fine if you are 24 hours fever-free, because we know kids will still get all the other normal illnesses that kids get, and that will still be a part of our lives. So keep that in mind. 24 hours fever-free is the return to school. Now I want to talk a little more specifically to those who have chosen to go online. Many of you have already had some individual conversations with the building personnel, and some of you have expressed special needs just like we anticipated. Some of your children have some medical conditions that we need to account for. Some of your children, because they're online, they're not able to take some of the courses that don't work to be online, and the buildings are working through that with each individual family. The point I want to make today is those decisions are very individual in nature. It may appear as though one child might be treated differently than another child, and that could be because of the circumstances that surround that individual child's medical condition or even family at-risk conditions. So the buildings, the staff, they're doing a great job of working through those, but they are very individual, and every one of those needs almost its own set of standards and setup that we need to do. We're happy to do that, but I will tell you, they don't all look the same, and that's the world that we live in. I also want to just end up again with the comment about masks. First of all, I know it's still a controversial topic out there, but as I go around town and I'm in restaurants and I'm in all the stores, I just want to say thanks to the adults for wearing masks. It sends a message to our kids that this is important and we're all in this together. And I just wanted to take time today to thank you for being a part of that. Even though I know many of you, quite frankly, like me, really don't like wearing them. But we're doing it. And if for nothing else, we're doing it for our kids to help them understand life as we know it. So for those of you coming on campus, you do need to have a mask when you come that first day. And I know I've seen a lot of you with masks already, so I know you've been out buying those with all kind of pictures and your favorite sports team and all that. As I've said, we will have some masks here at school, but we will also, and they are in, every student on campus will get one of these Belmont Braves masks, and we'll get those distributed hopefully that very first day to help with having enough masks in your family. So mask up, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.